Welcome everyone to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host Dystro, and tonight's episode is another random ranking episode, and it is another Foo Fighters random ranking episode. Now, if you guys do not know how this all works, Marissa takes a whole bunch of these songs or songs from all the albums, puts them in a generator, and randomly generates 10 songs, and then we rank them from 1 to 10. 10 being the worst, 1 being the best. Let's get right on into this. So, how this is going to go is I'm going to be randomly alternating between my list and then her list, and then, her list back to my list, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, with that being said, let's get right on into this. So, my number 10 is Over and Out from In Your Honor, and her number 10 is Burn Away, and I had to look at my notes real quick, and it's from One by One. I think both of our number 10s is kind of self-explanatory. It's kind of like one of those not heard very much sort of ordeals, and One by One, and then In Your Honor. I think Over and Out is from the acoustic side, I believe. Um, which I mean, we didn't really care for the acoustic side a little bit. Um, and then I think with I almost said blown away, burn away. That was from One by One, and it's like we didn't really care for a lot of the songs of that on that album, which is like crazy. But on to number 9, which I put Burn Away, and she put The Glass from the latest album. Again, with my number 9, it's kind of like one of those self-explanatory things where it's like I just don't hear it a lot. I'm probably gonna say that for my 10 through 7 or 6, which I mean perfectly fine. But it's just like it's not a lot of people's like because not a lot of people probably hear some of these songs. I don't. But if you do, that's awesome. Good for you. Um, you probably say that for some of hers as well as we get to her song on the glass. I think one of those things is like she doesn't hear it a lot or she kind of overplayed it a little bit. Which I mean that's totally perfectly fine too. Um, but I think with mine, with the glass, I put mine way up higher. Which it's kind of like one of those shocking things where it's like, wow, it's like she put the glass very, very low. Which I mean, like I said, like we always say in on these random ranking things, it's like we don't look at each other's lists prior to the recording, but in this case, since I'm the only solo dolo person here, it's like I have to look at her list and just like based it off of my notes and her notes and all that stuff. Um, so now on to number 8. Mine is Headwires from There Is Nothing Left to Lose, and hers is A Matter of Time from Wasting Light. I'm going to go into hers first with Matter of Time. I think with hers, it's like she just doesn't hear it a lot, or it's not really one of her like most popular songs off the Wasting Light album. I'm thinking one of hers is mostly probably Bridge Burning, which is that's mine, kind of like a favorite of mine. And then Walk, which has gotten her through some tough times in her own life. Um, Matter of Times, like the music video for it is like insane, and it's a really good song and all that stuff too. Um, but I think with mine, with Headwires, it's one of those songs like I said, I just don't hear it a lot, and that's it. With her number 7, she put Over and Out, whereas my number 7 was Give Me Stitches. It's also from the exact same album. There's Nothing Left to Lose. I think with hers is a little bit more. I'm I'm thinking it's just because like she probably liked that song more than I did. Like I said, that's totally fine to each their own sort of thing. Um, but with mine, it's like I thought it was a little bit more better than Headwires was, and plus I hear the song sometimes at work, and it kind of built that nostalgia for me when we first heard it months ago, and it's actually kind of cool that we got some of these songs from like different genres or different eras of Foo Fighters, because like this was like when they were a three piece, and then compared to Over and Out, it's like this when they were a four piece. So it's like it kind of like is kind of cool to like be in like kind of like a time capsule for some of these songs as well. Um, but on to number six. My number six was February Stars from The Color and the Shape, which is the only Color and the Shape song that we have on this random ranking, which is shocking. But then her number six was Bridge Burning from Wasting Light. Now, I think with hers, it's kind of like that middle ground. It's like it's not bad, but it's not good. And plus, it's a really kick-ass song. It is a good, like, kind of like anthem. Sort of like it's not like about like burning bridges or anything, but it's kind of like almost like kind of like a female empowerment kind of song in a way. Um, which I mean, if you watch the music video, it's like I mean that's self-explanatory right there. But with like February Stars, it was from the Color and Shape, and this is when before Taylor Hawkins had joined. God rest his soul. And um, Marissa, when we had first listened to this album, she kind of got February Stars and February Winds from Billy Talent mixed up. And she was like, "Oh, that's February Winds, right?" I'm like, "No, that's February Stars." She goes, "Dang it!" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's February Stars," and she goes, "Oh, okay." She's like, "I'm gonna get that mixed up so much." I'm like, "Yep, you probably are." So, it was a funny little story right there. Um, I think mine's like the exact same thing. It's like it's kind of like the middle ground for it. It's not bad, but it's not good, and it's like I just don't really hear it as much. Um, whereas like she probably in she's heard it a lot. But we'll get to that in a moment. Um, with number five, she put DOA from In Your Honor, and I put Aurora. That is from There Is Nothing Left to Lose as well. Now with mine is Aurora from There's Nothing Left to Lose. Nothing Left to Lose is like one of those like kind of like game changing kind of albums for them, because this is like when they were a three piece, and it was just Dave, Taylor, and Nate. And this is like when Pat Smear had left the group and all that stuff, and he got replaced with another guitarist that Dave knew from his past. And then he had left the group and all that stuff. Um, and so then it's like they were just on their own, just doing their own thing. And then it's like the infamous cover with Dave with the Foo Fighters tattoo on his neck and all that stuff, which is iconic album cover. And with Aurora, it's like I don't hear it as much, but then I've been hearing it more and more and more at my work, which is good because it kind of like kept it fresh in my head when I was doing this episode. And I think also with the DOA thing, it's like when I get to it in a little bit. I think DOA is like one of those songs that's kind of like it's memorable because it's like it's because of its sound. And this is when you had Dave, Taylor, Nate, and Chris Shefflett, which he's a really good addition to this band at that point. And and over and out, it's like or well, in your honor, I should say. It was like it had two sides to it. It's like you had one side which is the electric side, which is the hard rock side, and you have the acoustic side and all that stuff. Like when I did my over and out re-listening to it, and it was like I was just like, okay. It's like I just didn't really get into it as much as I got into DOA, sort of thing. And plus, like we when we listened to In Your Honors, like we did it all in one go. We didn't like give it a break or anything. We just did it all in one go, and like by the time we got to the second side, we were just like super tired. we're just like, come on, like it was just super dragging and all that stuff. So it's like that was one of those like mistakes that we will never ever do again. Um, Also with mine, it was like one of those songs where it's like it starts out kind of mellow and then it kind of gets into like a next gear a little bit, but then it's like it kind of like mellows out and all that stuff, which is kind of cool. Um, I mean, with DOA as well, like it kind of starts out kind of slow, but then it kind of like kicks up a little bit, and it kind of stays that pace for the entire song. Um, Also, now going on to number four, mine is a matter of time from Wasting Light, and hers is Give Me Stitches. Um, I'm not shocked that she put Give Me Stitches at number four. Her number three is going to be even more shocking. Um, my number four, it was like one of those songs that I kind of like grew to love, but then it's like I kind of like got got replayed for me a little bit because due to my own kind of like self not sabotage, but kept playing it on repeat and all that stuff a lot, and that was just my own fault. Like I got sick, kind of like not sick and tired of it, but I kind of like got sick of it, kind of like towards the end, a little bit. But I mean, it's a kick-ass song. I liked the drums in that song as well. And like I said, when when I did her number eight with A Matter of Time, just watch the music video. It's kind of freaking funny. It's hilarious. Um, so with hers, with Give Me Stitches, is also it's from There's Nothing Left to Lose, and you can tell that she really, really likes this album because not only is her number four, three, and one from the exact same album, but it's like she's has told me before, like on several occasions, like she really, really, really loves this album, and I'm like, okay, like I understand, like because like everybody has their own favorite album. I think mine was Wasting Light when we did the album rankings, and hers was There's Nothing Left to Lose as well. So it's like she's grown to love this band more and more and more, which is good. But she's also loved this album from when she first heard it, and which is a good thing. And plus, she wants to own that album as well. Because I think she has Color and Shape, Wasting Light. Um, I can't remember what else she has, but it's like I can't remember what. I think it's just those two for right now. Um, but it's actually kind of good that she likes Give Me Stitches because I mean, like I didn't really care for it, but I put it in the number seven spot, which is a good thing, I guess. It's not the the shittiest song, but it's like it's there's some hit and misses in some of their songs, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So now on to the top three. Hmm. This is gonna be a tricky one. So her number three was Headwires, which is also from There's Nothing Left to Lose. My number three is The Glass from But Here We Are. And with The Glass for me, it has a personal and emotional attachment to it because at that time, we had lost Taylor Hawkins, but then, like, I think it was like a few weeks later, he had also lost his mom, Dave Grohl's mom. And I think it was like one of those songs that kind of like had to be put out because it's like this is like what Dave was going through at the time, and you could just feel his pain through his lyrics, and it kind of resonated with me because it's like I had lost people in my life too, and it's like I mean we all have, but it's like nothing compares to Dave's relationship and friendship to Taylor Hawkins, but another thing also compares to his own mother. And it was like one of those things where it's like it kind of impacts you when you hear it and all that stuff, and it's just like you could just put yourself in Dave's shoes uh, for for that situation. Um, and I'm actually kind of glad that I put it at number three because, like I said, like it was just one of those songs that kind of just resonated with me. Um, but also like um, with Marissa's song Headwires, it kind of just resonates with her too because like I said, like at when we were talking about Give Me Stitches, it she really likes this album, and she really likes Give Me Stitches in Headwires and the number one song. Um, but it's like I think with um, the Foo Fighters and stuff like that, it's like you can put yourself in any situation and all that stuff, but it's like with Walk, it's like trying to like it's like helping you trying to get down from that like building or whatever like whatever you're going through and um and I'm actually kind of glad that Foo Fighters is around today because it's like if if they wasn't like I don't know what we would have like been listening to for like the past like 20 years like almost 25 I think I can't remember but it's actually kind of cool that Dave had made this band, and we are forever grateful for that. Um, but with Headwires, if I can go back on track here, with Headwires, I think it's like one of those songs that she kind of just liked a little bit more than Give Me Stitches. And plus, I think Headwires is also in. I can't remember like if it's from another song or another part of a song, but it kind of like leads into I think "Give Me Stitches" or "Give Me Stitches" leads into "Headwires." I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Um, but I'm actually kind of glad that you put it at number three. So on to the final two. My number two, or well, her number two. Let's just start with hers. Her number two is "February Stars" from "The Color and the Shape." My number two is DOA. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's like I didn't really like DOA coming up, or I didn't listen to it growing up and all that stuff, but then every time I would hear it at work, it got me more and more and more in love with it, which is a good thing for some music. Um, I'm actually kind of glad that I put it at number two because like DOA is like it's been ingrained in my brain for like forever at my work and all that stuff because we have a hard rock station at my work, um, which has like Alice in Chains, Foo Fighters, Def Leppard has like all the oldie classics and all that stuff. But then sometimes it has some of the newer stuff, maybe like mid 2000s stuff. Um, it just depends on like what the station picks on any random day. Um, but I think this is the only kind of like other song besides Everlong and My Hero from The Color and Shape that she actually likes more than those two. Um, which I mean, that's not a bad thing either. Like I said, to each their own. Um, but I think also February Stars has more of emotional emotional attachment to it for her as well. Because I think when we did the breakdown for it, um, or for the album, The Color and the Shape, go watch that. Go listen to it. It's really good. Um, I think when we went through it and all that stuff, it's like she found like an emotional attachment to it, sort of ordeal. When we did the notes and when I did notes, um, and it's kind of cool to find songs or like any bands that has like that emotional or spiritual attachment to it. Excuse me, it's just my throat's running a little bit dry. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So, what was I saying? Oh, talking about February Stars and the whole group in general. It's like it's actually kind of nice that she found songs that can like make her think of like emotional or spiritual things, and like Walk for example, like it kind of helped her get through a tough time and all stuff. And then like you have like February Stars that has like emotional attachment to it. So it's like a lot of these songs has if you like just look at the lyrics or just like listen to the lyrics and all stuff, you could just put yourself in any situation and kind of helps you see the other side, or like kind of like get you pumped up, or kind of like makes you like just relax and stuff, which is so freaking good about music. And not a lot of people will understand like music moves people and it actually helps people like get through the tough shit that we're going through as humans, which is a super fucking good thing for musicians out there today, like like Billy Talent, Simple Plan, Foo Fighters, Skillet, and like I'm just naming a few there. Like, and it's like it's so good and it's so cool to like have them in our lives, in our bloodstream, or in our mindset, and being like like these people actually helped me get through the fucking toughest times of my life, and Marissa like can think like three bands in general, or no, four bands in general: Simple Plan, Billy Talent, Foo Fighters, and Blink 182. And if without those four bands, I think she would probably not be here. Because it's like not a lot of people have that help or have that open connection to talk with anybody anymore, and without being judged. Um, and it's sad to think like that, but it's also kind of true. And I'm actually spitting facts here because it's like I've been called through numerous friends or our Discord friends like the wise man, because it's like I'm speaking facts right now. Um, Trying not to be like super philosophical with it, but like just being like just kind of real here. Anyway, enough of my mental babble. On to number one. Number one, the grand finale. My number one is Bridge Burning from Wasting Light. Her number one is Aurora from There's Nothing Left to Lose. Now, like I said, Nothing Left to Lose is her favorite album of all time. Mine is Wasting Light, but then there's also But Here We Are. But Here We Are has some good hits on it, but every single track on Wasting Light is no skips. Nothing at all is skippable on that album. And I'll give you a reason why. Because with Bridge Burning all the way up to Walk, it's kind of like a storybook. It's kind of like a picture or a roller coaster ride, and you have all the ebbs and flows with it, and also because like you start with the highs, but then you have to end with the lowest of lows to get back to the highest of highs and all that stuff. It's kind of like a peak in a valley sort of thing. And with music, with this album in general, Wasting Light, this is like we have Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins, Nate, Pat Smear, Chris, and you have Rami as their keyboardist and all that stuff as the sixth member of the group. And they're just having a freaking good time. They're just making music. They're just having a lot of fun. And plus, a lot of these songs with Bridge Burning, Walk, A Matter of Time, I'm probably missing a lot of them off the album, but it was like it has stories behind it, and I actually kind of like that about this album too. And when musicians can tell stories, you can relate yourself to those stories as your own. And with Walk and Bridge Burning in A Matter of Time, it's like like I had said at the top of the thing, Walk was like one of the songs that actually helped Marissa get through that tough time that she had in previous years, and and she always goes back to it to this day to like remind herself like how far she's come to this point. I mean, it's been a rocky road to get to this point, but I mean, we all have those rocky roads in our lives, in our daily lives, as humans, and it's like kind of like it says in the song, like learning to walk again. I've I feel like I've waited long enough to break free, sort of thing, and I've actually kind of like that lyric, and it kind of just resonates with me. Um, but with like I said with bridge burning and stuff like that, it's not about burning bridges or anything. It's about like female empowerment and being your own boss and being your own woman and all that stuff. I think with Marissa's song for number one, Aurora, it kind of resonates with her maybe because of like where she's at in her own mind. Maybe she put it there because of um, her own moving situation and all that stuff like that, or it's just probably because she just likes the song so fucking much. I really don't know. Um, but it's that's why I said like this is like the good thing about music. It's like we don't have to pick our favorite songs to be like, oh yeah, this is my favorite song. It's like every song could be our favorite. I mean, it might not be the best song in the world, but it's still a good song to like just listen to. Be like, okay, like I might not skip it, but I might skip this one, sort of thing. It depends on like what mood you're in that day. And it's like we have nobody to think about, but nobody to thank, but the musicians that put their heart and soul into their projects to make us happy or sad or angry or pissed off at the coworker or something. Um, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just trying to not go on too much of a rant here. Just trying to like trying to calm down a little bit. Calm down. But that being said, thank you very, very much for watching and or listening to this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This is almost an hour or half an hour long by the time this probably uploads or anything. Um, but tonight's song of the night. Let's go to the song of the night. The song of the night is going to be a Foo Fighters song. I mean, that's a no-brainer right there. But this song of the night, it is going to be from The Color and the Shape, and it is going to be My Hero, which is, I mean, like the all-time classic, other than Everlong and all stuff. Um, and I keep hearing My Hero a lot on the radio, which is a good thing. And it's like I guess it's kind of like a sign, I guess, from Taylor Hawkins himself, I guess. Um, but this song is like actually it's really kick ass. The music video is also kick ass as well. And I hopefully you guys will enjoy that song and watch the video. Okay, I would just try to get myself together here. So, with that being said, thank you very, very much for watching and for listening. Like I said, please follow us on all social medias. We have a Twitter page, we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, we have our own Snapchats on here. We have I think I said Reddit page. Um, my gaming YouTube channel. I'm at hopefully trying to get to 1,500 by the end of this year. And there's also in the link tree, there is a GoFundMe for Marissa's dad, Rick Andrews, who's currently going through a uh, tough time right now. He's trying to they're trying to make ends meet, sort of thing. Even if it's $5, it's $5, and it's towards a donation for a good cause. And it's going towards a great person and her dad. Um, and and it's like we all need some good love in these tough times like these. A little pun there. Um, and hopefully you guys will join me for the next Thursday's episode next week, which don't know what it will be, but gonna try to go into September as hopefully with a new mindset or maybe a new Throwback Thursday episode. I don't know, but please keep tuned, keep watching, stay loved, be loved. I will see you guys next Thursday. Peace.